your job, and one guy was out.
Wow. But I can feel for you, Jeff. Trust me.
So, you had a chance to sleep on it and think about things. How bad was it that night?
I mean, we didn't even watch film. You know, Coach Fedora told us, you know, you woke up Sunday, the sun rose, so you got to move on from it. You can't dwell on it. You know, our season still's got to continue. So we didn't even watch film. You know, we ran a different defensive scheme than we have been running all year. So we didn't even watch film, and we're right on to Clemson.
What was that difference? That different scheme? What was different than you guys had run the first 2 games?
We added an extra DB and then took out a linebacker.
Do you think it seemed like there were a lot of gaps, there were a lot of holes in the middle of the defense? Do you think maybe that was one of the reasons why?
Maybe partly, but I don't think we executed. I think there was 2 plays where Coach said we didn't have enough guys for the gaps, but the other ones we just didn't execute.
Do you think that's a good strategy, not having to see it just makes it easier for you guys to move on and start thinking Clemson?
I mean, it's just what we have to do, whether it's good or bad. You know, we got to move on. You know, we're 0-0 in the ACC, and we had a chance to win an ACC game this weekend.
Did anybody quit in the game on Saturday, in your estimation?
Not that I saw.
Was it worry that a player on your team has come out and said that was the case? And how would you address that?
It's not worrisome, you know. I don't know exactly who it was, but I'd like to talk to that person, whoever it was. But you know, it's still a team game. Whether it's if one guy quits and there's 60 guys playing, and I mean that is an issue that we'll get that corrected. But from what I saw, I didn't really see anybody quit. Especially, you know, I was on the kickoff return unit, and we had 10 or 11 returns, 12. I don't know what it was, and you know, the last return was our best. You know, so I didn't see any quit from that perspective of the game. So that was good to see.
What do you do to get morale up on your unit, get confidence up? Obviously, you're going to play a top shelf opponent next, and probably not at the best place coming off what happened in Greenville. So how do you get the mindset to where you can go down there and feel good about what's on the table for you next?
I mean, I think the mindset yesterday was actually better than I expected. You know, Coach talked to us. He told us some good things. You know, kind of picked us up a little bit. But I think it's the maturity of the guys. You know, we just got to be mature enough to move on from it. And you know, the exciting thing is we get to go into Death Valley and play a night game, which is exciting in itself. So the morale will be fine. You know, a good week of practice, build confidence on that. That's pretty much how we're going to do it.
Nobody wants to get whipped like you guys did on Saturday, but in a way, is it easier to move on from something like that than if you were lost in the last minute, because it'd be maybe more second guessing about what happened during the game?
No, I mean,
I think
a loss is a loss, a win's a win. You got to move on from it regardless. You know, we're not going to face them the rest of the year. Just like any other week, you know, San Diego State, we had to move on the day after we beat them. So just like this loss to ECU, we got to move on from it. Worry about Clemson now.
Jeff, as a defensive player, when the offense is putting up points, 40 points, and the logical thinking, hey, you put up 40 points, you should win the game, but you didn't. As a defensive player, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's tough. You know, I feel like we did let the offense down. They scored 41 points. We should win any ball game with that number. I'm gonna give credit to ECU. They are a good offense, but you know, you go back and look at film or look at some positives from the game. And one positive we saw was, I think before the 3rd and 24, 28 where they scored on, you know, we let up 40 rushing yards with 4 minutes to go in the first half, which was a huge positive for us. So you just try to draw on some things that you did well in the game, whether it's one thing or a couple things or a lot of things. You know, we didn't do a lot of things well, but you know, you got to draw back on some of the good things you did well and learn from it and go from there.
What do you say to your offensive counterparts?
Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, I don't really say much to them. You know, I bet they're a little disappointed in us, but you know, we're a team. You know, we need all 3 phases of the game to win, and you know, they rely on us, we rely on them. So we'll do our part to get that correct.
Do you feel like kind of all eyes are going to be on your unit this week to see how you guys respond in that hold? Or?
Yeah, and I think that's how it should be, based on our performance last week.
Is this a chance, you know, for atonement? Are you viewing it that way as you know you go into Clemson? You know, do some good things that it's a chance to atone for last week.
Definitely. Coach Vic told us yesterday, I think it was 2 years ago, we played Georgia Tech at home and they absolutely destroyed us on our home field. And then we go back 5 days later and beat Virginia on national TV. So, we're looking at it just like that. We get whipped on national TV again and we get to go play a ranked opponent or a very good opponent at their place and try to do something similar.
With the inexperience up front, and sometimes they go through stretches where they're getting handled pretty well, is there a tendency for you and maybe Keith or Travis to maybe overcompensate a little bit because of that? You find yourself falling into that during in a situation the other night?
Not really. You just try to take care of your job first and foremost. So we have worked up with the guys in front, but it was everyone making mistakes.
Yeah, I understand that. Just because you see what's in front of you, and I know that human nature is to kind of overcompensate sometimes, no matter what.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna say that would happen a couple times during the game. I can remember one example for sure, but they got to do their part, and we got to do our part, and we'll try to get that correct. Is there
maintaining that trust and maybe getting some of the trust back? 'Cause that's part of the process during the week too, leading up to Clemson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll have a different defensive scheme this weekend, and it's up to the guys to learn it. And you can build confidence on it by them showing us what they do on Tuesday and Wednesday of practice. And with that, I think they'll do a good job of it. Much better than last week, and we'll be all right.
Clemson settled on a quarterback. They're a freshman, I believe. He's inexperienced but talented, and looks like he's going to be a handful. What do you know about him, and what do you expect?
All right. First and foremost, he is a true freshman, which is one thing we'll try to take advantage of. He's talented. He can run. He's got a good zip on the ball, passing wise. We'll try to corral the run. Because he will pull it and run it. And he is athletic. So we'll have to have an extra guy in the box to take care of him on zone reads and things like that. But we'll try to fluster him. Get pressure on him, hit him a little bit. His first home start, so he'll be excited. But it's always, it is what it is facing a freshman quarterback. But he's very talented. He's very talented.
Do you have to work at all to not get lost in the atmosphere that I know you're coming off a pretty good atmosphere, and obviously they do some things. Death Valley, earned its name for a reason. And do you throw a switch and tune that out, or do you take a moment to say, hey, this is one of the reasons I chose to play college football?
Right. On the sidelines, I guess it is cool to look around, but once you get on the field, you block it out. I think it's more fun personally to go on the road. It's just you and your team. No one in the stands wants you to win. They're all rooting against you. So I think it's kind of just you and your guys. You have each other's back, and you go play.
When you guys put the Georgia Tech game to bed 2 years ago, you had a lot of veteran player pride on that team. You don't have as many veteran players here. How much a role did those guys play in getting you guys to quickly turn around? Because that Virginia game was a Thursday, right?
Yep.
That was an immediate turnaround. Do you think it helped that it was an immediate turnaround like that? And do you have enough veteran guys to help in that process this week to be enough?
Yeah, I definitely do think we have enough veteran guys, and even the young guys. That some of them are veteran guys already. Brian Walker. Look at him. He's played the last 2 years. We got some young guys that haven't played. Veteran doesn't. If you're a senior, junior doesn't make you a veteran. You can be a veteran as a freshman almost. It just depends how much experience you've had, really. But guys like myself and Marquise, and I want to put a big challenge on Ethan Farmer. To really take that D-line under his wing this week and get them corrected.
Does it help that you have that to draw from? Because what you guys did 2 years, because I think you held Virginia 13 points, was it?
Yep.
The next game. So is that something really good that you have something tangible like that to draw from to show the guys,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
the ones that weren't around then?
Definitely, and the guys that were here during that time, we can draw from that too, and think back to what we did during that week and get that corrected and apply it to this week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.